Have you ever felt like you're expected to have a big circle of friends, even as you get older? Maybe you've noticed that some of your friendships have faded over the years, or perhaps you've simply found yourself enjoying your own company more and more. If that's the case, I want to let you in on a little secret. You don't need a lot of friends to live a happy, fulfilling life after 70. In fact, embracing independence can be one of the most liberating and joyful experiences of this chapter of life. In this video, we're going to explore 6 reasons why you don't need friends after 70, and why that's not just okay, but something to celebrate. These reasons are all about embracing your independence, focusing on what truly matters to you, and finding happiness on your own terms. Whether you've always been a bit of a lone wolf or you're just starting to enjoy more solitude, these insights will help you see the beauty in living life your way. So, let's dive in and start with the first reason, the freedom to be yourself. One of the greatest gifts of independence is the freedom to be unapologetically yourself. When you're not constantly trying to meet the expectations of others or fit into a social group, you can focus on what makes you happy. Maybe that means spending your days gardening, reading, or pursuing a hobby you've always loved. Or maybe it means trying something completely new, like painting, learning a musical instrument, or traveling solo. Without the need to compromise or seek approval, you can fully embrace your interests and passions. And let's be honest, there's something incredibly empowering about doing exactly what you want, when you want, without worrying about what anyone else thinks. Now, let's talk about the second reason, less drama, more peace. Let's face it, friendships, while wonderful, can sometimes come with their fair share of drama. Misunderstandings, differing opinions, and the occasional conflict are just part of being human. But as we get older, many of us find that we have less patience for unnecessary stress. Choosing independence means you can let go of the emotional ups and downs that sometimes come with maintaining friendships. Instead, you can focus on creating a peaceful, low-stress environment for yourself. Imagine spending your days in a space that feels calm and harmonious, where you're free to relax and enjoy the simple pleasures of life. Sounds pretty nice, doesn't it? The third reason is more time for self-discovery. After 70, you've likely accumulated a lifetime of experiences, wisdom, and lessons. But that doesn't mean there isn't still more to learn about yourself. Independence gives you the opportunity to explore who you are at this stage of life, your values, your desires, and your dreams. Without the distractions of social obligations, you can dive deep into self-reflection and personal growth. Maybe you'll discover a new passion, or perhaps you'll find that you're more resilient and capable than you ever realized. This journey of self-discovery can be incredibly rewarding, and it's something that's uniquely yours. By now, you're probably starting to see that independence isn't about loneliness, it's about freedom, peace, and self-discovery. And we're just getting started. In the next part, we'll cover 3 more reasons why you don't need friends after 70, including how independence can lead to stronger relationships with yourself and others, and why it's okay to prioritize your own happiness. So, stay with me as we continue this journey toward embracing independence and living a happier, more fulfilling life. Let's keep going. Now that we've talked about the freedom to be yourself, the peace that comes with less drama, and the joy of self-discovery, let's move on to the 4th reason why you don't need friends after 70, stronger relationships with yourself. This might sound a little abstract, but it's one of the most important aspects of embracing independence. When you're not constantly surrounded by others, you have the opportunity to build a deeper, more meaningful relationship with yourself. Think about it. How often do we really take the time to check in with ourselves, to listen to our own thoughts and feelings, and to honor our own needs? Independence gives you the space to do just that. You can spend time reflecting on your life, your accomplishments, and your dreams. You can practice self-care in ways that feel right for you, whether that's taking a long bath, going for a walk in nature, or simply sitting quietly with a cup of tea. This relationship with yourself becomes a source of strength and comfort, something you can rely on no matter what life throws your way. And the more you nurture this relationship, the more confident and content you'll feel in your own skin. Next, let's talk about the 5th reason, the ability to focus on quality over quantity. As we get older, many of us find that we value deeper, more meaningful connections over having a large social circle. Independence allows you to focus on the relationships that truly matter to you, whether that's with family, a few close friends, or even just yourself. You don't have to spread yourself thin trying to maintain a bunch of superficial friendships. Instead, you can invest your time and energy into the people and activities that bring you the most joy and fulfillment. And if that means spending more time alone, that's perfectly okay. The goal is to create a life that feels rich and meaningful to you, not to meet anyone else's expectations. Now, let's move on to the sixth reason, the freedom to prioritize your own happiness. This might sound obvious, but it's worth emphasizing. When you're not tied down by the demands and expectations of friendships, you have the freedom to make choices that are truly in your best interest. You can say no to things that don't serve you, and yes to the things that do. You can design your days in a way that feels good to you, whether that means sleeping in, spending hours on a hobby, or simply enjoying the quiet. This kind of autonomy is incredibly empowering, and it allows you to live a life that's aligned with your values and desires. As we move into the final part of this video, we'll wrap up with some final thoughts on embracing independence and living a happier, more fulfilling life after 70. We'll also talk about how to navigate any feelings of loneliness that might arise and how to create a life that feels rich and meaningful on your own terms. So, stay with me as we continue this journey toward greater independence and happiness. Let's keep going. We've covered a lot of ground so far: freedom to be yourself, less drama, self-discovery, stronger relationships with yourself, focusing on quality over quantity, and prioritizing your own happiness. Now, let's wrap up with some final thoughts on embracing independence and living a happier, more fulfilling life after 70. First, let's address something that might be on your mind: loneliness. It's natural to worry about feeling lonely when you're spending more time alone, but it's important to remember that loneliness and being alone are not the same thing. Loneliness is a feeling, and it's one that can be managed and even transformed. One way to do this is to cultivate a sense of connection in other ways. For example, you might find joy in connecting with nature, whether that's through gardening, birdwatching, or simply taking a walk in the park. You can also connect with others in more casual, low-pressure ways, like chatting with a neighbor, joining an online community, or volunteering for a cause you care about. These kinds of connections can provide a sense of belonging without the need for close friendships. Another way to combat loneliness is to focus on gratitude. Take time each day to reflect on the things you're grateful for, whether it's a beautiful sunrise, a good book, or a phone call with a loved one. Gratitude can shift your perspective and help you see the abundance in your life, even when you're spending more time alone. And if you're feeling particularly lonely, consider reaching out to someone. Even a brief conversation can make a big difference. Now, let's talk about creating a life that feels rich and meaningful on your own terms. Independence gives you the opportunity to design a life that's uniquely yours, one that reflects your values, interests, and desires. This might mean setting new goals, exploring new hobbies, or simply giving yourself permission to slow down and enjoy the moment. The key is to focus on what brings you joy and fulfillment, rather than what you think you should be doing. Remember, this is your life, and you get to decide how to live it. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a little encouragement. Embracing independence after 70 isn't about rejecting friendships or isolating yourself. It's about choosing a life that feels authentic and fulfilling to you. It's about honoring your own needs, desires, and values, and finding happiness on your own terms. And the beauty of it is, you don't have to have it all figured out right away. Take it one day at a time, and be open to the possibilities that come your way. I'd love to hear how you're embracing independence in your own life. Have you discovered new passions or found joy in solitude? Do you have any tips for staying connected while enjoying your independence? Let me know in the comments below. I always enjoy hearing from you. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more tips on living your best life after 70. Thank you so much for joining me today. Here's to embracing independence, finding joy in the simple things, and living a life that's rich, meaningful, and uniquely yours. Until next time, take care and keep moving forward.